What's up, man?
I got everything we need for today's interview with Frank.
What's in here? What is this?
The entire Metal Gear collection, including the original for NES. I've got Metal Gear Solid Classic. I got 2.
Metal? Oh,
I got
Metal Gear?
3. I got 4.
Where's Snake's Revenge?
Anyways, I got the HD collection.
We're not just talking about a obviously less quality game. Let me bring something up here, all right? We're gonna start off the conversation with everybody's favorite espionage character, Sam Fisher from the Splinter Cell series.
Who's Sam Fisher?
Sam Fisher?
I've never heard of this guy.
He's the greatest video game character ever created, and he obviously would whip the snot out of your little fanboy Solid Snake.
Solid Snake?
Yeah.
I've never even heard of Sam Fisher.
Yeah, you know what? Know what makes him horrible? Is because he's obviously had lung disease for a long time. And I don't know how he's even walking around.
Does Sam Fisher hide in the box?
No, he doesn't. Because he's a man. He doesn't hide.
There's no
he
way.
Pounces.
There's no way that Sam Fisher could beat Solid Snake, and I'll prove it. Let's ask Frank.
Whatever.
Well, hello, Frank. How you doing?
Hi, guys. I'm doing great. How about yourselves?
We're very good. We really appreciate you being here for the 5 essential questions on the Metal Gear series.
This is going to be good. I'm going to start you off with a question here, Frank.
All right.
Pretty basic. What was your introduction to the Metal Gear franchise, and which games in the series have you gone through?
I have... Well, my introduction to the Metal Gear franchise was a sleepover at a friend's house when we were like, I don't know, 10 or something. And they were all playing Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation 1, like, right after it had come out.
Yeah.
So that was, like, the first time I really got into it. The first one I actually played, though, was Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty.
Okay.
So, like, I know a lot of people don't like that, but because it was my first one I played, I have a lot of, like, nostalgia for it.
Right.
And I have played every main canon Metal Gear game all the way through from front to back except for Portable Ops because my copy's scratched and I can't find another copy and I'm too lazy to go looking. But yeah, they're all real. I've even played Rising, even though I have my issues with it.
I've heard mixed reviews on that,
It was... The gameplay is really fun. And you could tell they put a lot of good work into it, but it doesn't capture the spirit of Metal Gear. Kind of like how it's not because it's not stealth. Like an example is Mario is known for platforming.
Right.
But he also has Mario Kart, he has Mario Tennis, he has Mario Party, but they all still feel like Mario games, you know?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you're not doing the platforming, you feel like Mario. This game just didn't... It felt like a cheap anime.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. A lot of people had said to me that the Metal Gear Rising was kind of lacked the soul that the rest of the series has. I mean, there's a lot of heart in the game, and a lot of it's a deep game. It's more like a film than it is a video game. Matter of fact, I've actually had friends say stay away from the Metal Gear series because they say it's too much like a movie.
Really?
Yeah.
And which I actually love about the series. It's so cinematic.
I know, I love that. And I'm a little sad because Kojima said that with Metal Gear Solid 5, he said that he's going to be cutting down the cutscenes a little bit because he feels they've become outdated. And I'm like, oh man, like, I mean, I get what you're saying, and I respect your decision, but man, I love those cutscenes.
Yeah, and four was full of them. Were you a big fan of 4?
I loved 4. It's my favorite one of them.
Oh, really? Wow.
I loved 4. It was like 4 was like everything that, if you like Metal Gear, they just gave you everything you'd ever love about it. You're back to playing as Solid Snake. There's plenty of cutscenes. The gameplay was outstanding. There's so much replay value. It was so robust of an experience. The best word. Sorry, my phone keeps going off.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Why don't I move on to the next question then?
Sure.
If you could have any power or ability of any of the characters throughout the Metal Gear titles, who would you choose? Feel free to take a moment and think about that one. Because there's a wide range. I was describing that to Matt. Again, Matt has not played a ton of the games, but I was like, he's like, oh wait, they all have different powers. I'm like, oh yeah, there's like a guy who like shoots bees. And
the bee guy.
Yeah, the bee guy.
Forget that guy.
My experience with Metal Gear is Metal Gear Solid 1 on PS1. That's pretty much it.
He's got a lot to learn.
Yeah, I've got a lot to learn about the Metal Gear franchise.
There's actually like a skit idea I had where, as you know, they had that thing in Metal Gear where the boss took the Cobra unit to the invasion of Normandy to take out some rockets.
Okay.
So I'm picturing like they didn't just like appear there. There was someone who like flew them in.
Yeah.
And I'm picturing like there's this guy who's sitting there flying this plane, and he's like, I wonder what my crew looks like. And he turns around, he looks back, and he goes, there's a man like with bees all around him, another guy in like an astronaut outfit.
Yeah.
You got a pregnant woman, an old this man who's just sleeping in a chair with a parrot on his shoulder.
Yeah.
Some other guy who's like his elbows are popping all over the place, and he's just like, oh my god.
Yeah. So the end would probably not be the person you'd want the powers of. The end.
Probably not.
Because his whole thing is, man, he sleeps, and then when he has to snipe someone out, he wakes up and then snipes them and then goes back to sleep or something.
Yeah.
Isn't that roughly how you describe his powers?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, he has that cool like, I can blend in with the environment thing,
True.
And I can like communicate with animals. But you know what? Seeing how you're sleeping most of the time, you're not getting to use those cool powers.
Yeah. And if someone doesn't play the game for long enough, like turns it off and doesn't go back to the game, he will actually die in that battle.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's so
Like I
weird.
loved the creativity with that. That was
Yes.
actually a huge problem I had. Not to go off on a tangent here, but like
Yeah.
one of my problems with Peace Walker, because I loved Peace Walker, I thought it was outstanding. My biggest problem with the boss fights, they were just grind fests. You sat there and shot a thing until it died, and I was like, what happened to creative things like the boss, like when you fight the End or Psycho Mantis?
There were always so many ways you could encounter these characters or take them on, or and to lose that again, it's like it goes back to the idea of just substance in these games.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're just it's just full of them. I just recently beat, because my favorite is Metal Gear Solid 3. I love Snake Eater.
Oh.
And I just went through it again, and I was in the big boss fight, and I did something I never realized before. I hit the keratin in the middle of in the middle tree, and she hears it, and she goes, there you are, and starts shooting at it. So you can totally distract her with the little frog in the tree. The end boss you can distract by shooting this little frog toy.
Oh wow!
I had no idea.
Yeah, no, it was really cool. I had not realized that the prior times I played through it. That was the first time I realized. It's so weird.
In that, I believe it's in that area where you're fighting her, there are 3 special snakes that you can find there that you can't get anywhere else.
Right.
There's they're just aptly named Liquid Snake, Solid Snake, and Solidus Snake, and you can hunt them and collect them. But that's the only place in the game to get them. And I thought that was kind of neat.
Yeah, there's always so much. I love it.
Oh, it's great. It's just so much detail. All right, well, powers, I mean, part of me wants to be boring and say Liquid because of him being, like, the dominant. Even though he thought he was recessive, he was dominant. I mean, the guy fell off, like, a 3-story mech and survived.
That's right. Yeah.
And there was, like, an explosion, an overturned car. Like, he's just, like, the pinnacle of humanity right there.
Mm-hmm.
But I won't go with the boring one, which is him. I'll go with, oh, gosh. I mean... Now, do I have to look like them? Because some of them
You do not have to look like them, unless their power is essential. If their power is essential based off their looks.
All right. I guess I might go with Psycho Mantis.
Yeah.
Because just having that, having the ability to move things around the room is always like I could just where's my phone? Oh, it's over there. Okay, now here it is. It's like, oh, someone's trying to lie to me. All right, well, now you're not lying to me anymore.
Yeah, power to mess with people's minds would be probably hard to turn away from.
And that's still one of the...
that one's pretty cool.
Yeah. That's still one of the greatest boss fights of, I would say, the whole Metal Gear series. Best boss fight.
It's easily one of the best. I mean, it's so amazing. You know who would suck to have the Sorrow's power?
I was just thinking that. I was like, if he picks Sorrow, then I'll be surprised. But
because then you're just Haley Joel Osment from
but grown up.
Sixth Sense. That's just who you are. That sucks. That kid was not a happy kid.
No. Essentially, just he communicates with ghosts, dead soldiers, and that type of thing.
Yeah, it sucks. Like he's just like, oh well, like I'm on the battlefield and here's all these dead people that are really upset they're dead, and I'm gonna talk to them, and it's just like, no.
Unless you could get it like Lord of the Rings and have him fight for you, then you'd be unstoppable.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Was it just me, or was it stupid that they're like, this Ghost Army come in and they take out just that battle, but before they go to Mordor, they're like, okay, you're free.
Yeah,
I thought that same thing. Just send them into Blackgate, just have them wipe everything out, and then just walk up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I would have done. I'd be like, all right, you guys are done as soon as Mordor falls.
Yeah, as soon as that ring goes in, then you're free.
Or ask them to take the ring. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, have them take it in there. Are ghosts immune to that?
That's true. I didn't even think of that.
Are they like Tom Bombadil?
But then you go back to the whole eagle thing, and why didn't they just fly the ring in or something like that? I mean, there's so many different.
I'm cool with the eagles because like it presumably they would have shot the eagles down, but
Yeah.
like the reason the eagles were able to get in at the end was because Mordor was like literally like falling into the earth, like the towers and the ground was collapsing in on itself.
Right,
so I'm like,
right.
okay, I can bite that one.
Yeah.
But like really,
Yeah.
like the Ghost Army. I mean,
Come
they
on,
went out of
Ghost
the way to
Army.
explain why Tom Bombadil can't do it.
The other thing, as I just said a couple minutes ago, I just recently gone through Snake Eater, and I went the non-lethal route.
Oh, nice.
So when I encountered Sorrow, that fight is so boring. The Sorrow fight, because for Matt, when you fight the Sorrow, you basically encounter everybody you killed in the whole game in ghost form. They all come for you. So if you go the non-lethal route, you're basically walking like a mile, just walking.
Oh, really?
Nothing's happening.
Tentacles.
Yeah, so it's just kind of funny.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's also I always liked how you killed them was reflected. Like if you slit their throat, they would be walking around like ah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, that's pretty neat that the game memorized how I killed people.
It is pretty cool.
Yeah, no, just the people they hired to make these games must be like the over the top, just people who just spend all their time thinking about this stuff.
Right.
I mean, it's just it's so smart.
Yeah, from everything I've read and from what I've talked to people, because I met an illustrator who did 3D work on Metal Gear Solid 3 and a little bit on 4. She was telling me that Kojima's he's very nice, but he pushes you really, really hard.
Yeah, he must.
Like he's a hard ass about it, but he's a nice guy, so that's good to know.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I guess I'll go with Psycho Mantis.
Psycho Mantis, fair enough.
Next question. We all know the Metal Gear games feature some amazing music. Can you tell us some of your favorite tracks?
Oh my god, yeah, it's tremendous music. I loved the from Metal Gear Solid 2, the main theme, the Metal Gear Solid 2 theme there. I actually, in my animation demo reel, up until literally today, I just changed it before I came in this interview. That was my music for my demo reel.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
I love that one. Calling to the Night, that's easily one of my from Portable Ops. That one's amazing. I want that at my funeral. I like that one. I like some of the main songs they're doing now. Like there's Sins of the Father from the Red Band trailer of Metal Gear Solid 5.
Right.
I don't know if you guys saw it. That song's pretty good.
Yeah.
Heaven's Divide was also really good from Peace Walker.
Yeah.
And overall, like I love, like in Metal Gear Solid 3, I loved the alert music and the caution music.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
very like James Bondy Cold War.
Right.
It captured the essence of that era really well, and I
Yeah.
thought that was really well done. A nice good one for Harry Gregson.
Yeah. I mean, it's just it pushes that idea that these are like less movies, more films. You
Right.
know?
Yeah,
right.
it's amazing. Like
Yeah.
like there's a very big difference between a movie and a film. Like this is a film. Like this, there's like so much substance behind the story, the themes, everything.
Right.
It's really great. What about you? What's your favorite?
I'm gonna go obvious. I had Snake Eater.
Snake Eater.
I love that. I think, and part of it is just the beginning of it when you hit that song, and everybody says, it's such a beautiful like music video they have there with the snakes going around. But it actually for me. That became my favorite song. The point when you're climbing up that really long ladder,
that's
and it's just
so good.
You just hear basically you're climbing up this ladder that how tall is this thing? I mean, it's like
it's
ridiculously
great.
long. And basically, you just start hearing this whisper of a woman singing in the background, and it just says it, and then you have to climb up a little bit more, and then she sings the next verse, and then you climb up a little more, and it's just like whispers, and then it just gets really loud, and it motivates you so much. And I'm getting excited just talking about it. It motivates you so much that you're just ready to just conquer the rest of this game. It is. That was probably that ladder climbing scene, which easily could have been something they threw away and been the most boring thing in the game. Became probably my high point of the entire Metal Gear series, and that's so weird to say, but
it's great because you're just pushing up, and that's all you're doing. You're not doing anything else. There was more. I think I've done more gameplay on a start menu than I was doing there.
Yeah,
but it was so much more impactful. You're just sitting there listening to it. Snake Eater's great. And that opening was really cool. I liked how you could control the snakes when you were.
I didn't know that. Really.
Yeah, like when you're playing the opening, those skeletons and snakes,
Yeah.
use the joysticks, you can move them around.
Whoa! Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I'm gonna have to try that.
Go back into it.
Yeah.
No, but that's great. It's very James Bond-esque kind of opening
absolutely.
segment, and I like that.
I think more than even like you said, like the different music that they already had in the series. That is, I'm not gonna say James Bond ripoff, but just a total just showing love for the James Bond series in Metal Gear. That song just sounds like a James Bond.
Yeah, like he was definitely doing an homage to that, and especially because he had the codec call with Major Zero when he's like, James Bond's the best thing to come out of England.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's great coming from a Brit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to take the odd man out and say my favorite track is Stage 1 theme from the NES Metal Gear.
Oh, good job.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'm gonna have to go old school.
Nice job.
That's I can
I've only
appreciate.
played two of them.
I have the orchestrated version of that on my phone. It makes me
Really?
really happy. Let's see if we can. Let's see. Hang on.
No. We're excited now. You have to play
I'm
it.
getting.
I don't. Can you guys hear it?
Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, it's really great.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, but no, that's a good one. It's very nostalgic listening to that. I also there was only like 3 or 4 tracks in the original Metal Gear game, I guess.
Yeah.
But like there was there's like the alert, and I think there was a boss fight one, and I like them all. They're really great.
Yeah.
Now, for our fourth question, as I recall, you've actually played Solid Snake a couple of times in the Underbelly episodes.
That's correct.
Can you tell us what it was like for you filming those episodes, and how did you prepare for the role of Snake?
Actually, the first time we did it, I went out and got a haircut. I wanted to the first time was in our Metal Gear Solid of Cardboard Boxes and Men.
Right.
Where we just did the overview of the series. It was recently after. It was about almost 2 years after 4 had come out. Peace Walker was around the corner. And it was just like that was my first episode in Underbelly, so like I was a little bit of anxious about portraying Snake right in a comedic but still Snake kind of way, and also being able to because there's only so serious you can take it when you're doing a comedy thing when you're breaking into a web show studio. It's but I try to I was like, okay, so in Metal Gear Solid 2, he's walking across the bridge, and he's doing that thing, and he tosses the cigarette. I was trying to mime him, but also kind of not look like I was rotoscoping his movements. I was like, it was kind of fun doing that. And I look forward to hopefully reprising my role. I talked about this before. It was an I wrote a script for Metal Gear Hey, the Metal Gear musical, and. It's like, what if Metal Gear was a Broadway musical? And in it, I wrote the script, I drew out a whole animatic for it, it's all paced out and timed, and it's just, we ended up having to cancel because it became way too expensive to do for the time being. But it's like moving it, it's like, coming from your game console straight to the movie theater, straight to the Broadway theaters, Metal Gear, hey! And it was dancing numbers with synchronized cardboard boxes and Snake and Otacon kissing. It was really great. And then I had this whole thing where I wanted Raiden to be played by a woman. So you'd see the camera would be going in on her from behind, and you'd think it's a guy, and then she just turns around. There's clearly boobs, makeup. It's just a woman. And that's unfortunate. But we were recently talking. Sean Capel and I were talking recently about bringing it back.
Oh, great.
For the Phantom Pain release, because we try and stay topical, so maybe we'll try and do that for when that comes out, and that'll be a great chance to reprise that Solid Snake role.
I like it.
Now, I know you've been doing a lot of animation and stuff.
Yes.
When you switched between the items in that episode, was that your doing? Was that animation or?
Actually, that was animation. That was actually Justin who did that, because when we did that episode, that was about 3 months before I started animation school.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, he did that, and I've been actually, every now and then I sit there and I think to myself, I really would like to do an animated thing with Metal Gear.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, maybe I'll just apply to Kojima Productions and pray I get a job.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I'm just since I'm just out of college, I'm doing that whole I'm applying to things.
Yeah.
I'm applying to things left and right. And I would like to do Kojima Productions.
Yeah.
I that would actually be a huge dream job, but I want to get some more. I feel like I'd like to get more experience before I jump into a company that I love that much. Like
Right,
I don't want to
exactly.
like just fire out right away. So I'm looking at smaller companies first, or even things not gaming related at first.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole like getting to animate something like Snake would be great, but they use mocap a lot, and I'd have to learn that.
Yeah. This is okay. Question 5 is when we turn it up a notch. Matt's going to go through a couple different fights, and we want to see how you think Snake would fare against some of these characters. Would he win? Would he lose?
I'm ready.
All right. Fight 1: Solid Snake versus James Bond, played by Sean Connery.
Ooh, gonna go with Solid Snake. Because Solid Snake has James Bond. They both fight weird people. Like James Bond's had things. Well, okay, Sean Connery Bond. So I can only use his villains for comparison here. Sean Connery didn't deal with as many like over the top villains.
Right.
Like there was Dr. No had the mechanical hand thing. But like Solid Snake's going up against like a psychic and a giant shaman guy who was like in a tank and got blown up by grenades and was just fine.
Right.
I'm gonna give it to Solid Snake.
Okay.
As much as I love James Bond.
All right. Question 2: Solid Snake versus James Bond again, but this time played by Daniel Craig.
Ooh, bad. You cut me deep. Daniel Craig's my favorite Bond. He's a bit more of a brute, but I still got to give it to Solid Snake. Solid Snake's like genetically modified ultimate soldier. Yeah, I got to give it to him.
Fair enough.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, no, we specifically went through like, let's find out everything Frank likes and make him really suffer during this segment.
It's gonna be rough.
All right. Next one: Solid Snake versus Batman, any incarnation.
Oh, Jesus. That one's difficult.
And you can choose the incarnation. So if you just want to cop out and say Adam West, feel free. That fight we know would be easy.
Well, okay, Adam West, clearly Solid Snake, but I want to go with like a comic book one. I want to go with. I'm going to stick with more comic-oriented, modern-day Batman.
Okay.
Oh, man, like, this is like... and they both deal with some
You have to understand, we had a lot of fun writing this particular part. Like, how can we make him suffer?
Is this, am I allowed to say stalemate? Do I have to?
You can say stalemate, absolutely.
Oh, stalemate.
You
stalemate.
get one stalemate.
I think I'm going stalemate.
They'll just hug in the end and then just walk away.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of respect for those two characters.
Yeah, the only thing that Snake really has over Batman is that Snake will kill a dude. Like,
Fair
he
enough.
will kill a man. I mean, he doesn't like killing, but he's kind of mindset's kind of that whole like, there's nothing right about murder, not ever. He says that in 2.
Yeah.
But he's kind of like, I'm doing what I need to do because I understand it needs to be done, but I'm not really happy about it, and I avoid it if I can.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But like Batman's just like, well, I avoid it altogether. There's something to be said about like everyone's like, oh, well, Batman's because he didn't kill people. That's just the worst. No, you know what? No, it takes a lot more guts in the face of a world of heroes that are just ready to murder.
Yeah.
To be like, you know what? No, guys, I'm not gonna do that.
I'm gonna pass.
I'll pass. I will not fall to peer pressure.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so stalemate.
Next one: Solid Snake versus Big Boss.
Okay. Well, if it's older Big Boss, like when he fought him in Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2, yes, he would win. But actually, I'm gonna give it to Big Boss if it was young Big Boss
Big
versus
Boss in
young
his
Solid
prime.
Snake. Going to Big Boss.
Wow, I like it.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, it's got to be young Big Boss.
I'm interested on this next one: Solid Snake versus Goku.
Oh, well, Goku. I mean, that's not fair. It's an easy win. But how mean to pit those two. You guys are mean. I mean, Goku, like, that guy, there is, like, a finite number of fictional characters that can beat that guy. And it's not even fair. It's like Dr. Manhattan and, like, I think the Marvel Universe's version of God, what's his name? He has like a very abstract name, and I can't remember it. It's probably it's something like real. Like I'm gonna think it's gonna be like it's like it's something. But Marvel Universe has like their version of God. Like he could beat him. I'm sorry, Superman can't beat him.
Okay,
Or
fair enough.
actually, I'm gonna go the Superman thing. It's like Goku Superman. That's like you can't really measure it
Yeah,
because based on the end of Dragon Ball Z, you never see the full potential of Goku,
correct.
and Superman's measure of power is so different based on the writer. There's
Right.
almost no way to compare the two.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so Goku would beat Snake, you jerks.
All right, Solid Snake versus Kiefer Sutherland.
Solid Snake would beat that mother.
What are your thoughts on him taking on the voice of Snake in the fifth one?
Oh, that's I don't dislike it. I don't dislike it because it's Big Boss, and I don't dislike it because Big Boss is getting older. I don't know if I could handle it well if they if they actively chose to use Solid Snake's voice, replaced by Kiefer Sutherland. The other thing is, I'm not entirely convinced that we're actually getting Kiefer Sutherland. I know he announced it, but this is also the same kind of guy who tricked us into thinking that you played as Snake in Metal Gear Solid 2, and then you play as Raiden. Because that big reveal trailer, he never showed Sutherland's voice coming out of Snake's mouth.
Right.
He showed Ocelot's voice coming out of his mouth, Miller's coming out of his mouth, but every time there was an opportunity for Big Boss to talk, they either showed him from behind, like when he's giving Miller the sunglasses,
Correct,
or
yeah.
it was they didn't have him talk, or it was a voiceover. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not saying that David Hayter's still the voice, I'm just saying not entirely convinced because Kojima's known for lying.
Right.
I'm pretty sure.
Studios,
I'm pretty sure that the whole Metal Gear franchise is just one big social experiment, anyways, just to see how people react to things and how, you know what I mean? They're always messing with people.
Lab rats.
This is just a big laugh for Kojima.
Yeah, probably. All right, this is the one that me and Matt have been talking about since forever. Since we were born, we've been having this fight.
And I know you're going to make the right decision here, so make me proud. Solid Snake versus Sam Fisher.
I'm sorry, Solid Snake.
Oh.
And it's Solid Snake because like Sam Fisher's much more rooted in reality. Like Daniel Craig's James Bond, he's dealing with albeit fantastic situations, but more realistic odds than Solid Snake, who goes up against, psychics again, giant, women in machine outfits, stuff like that. And also, he was a genetic experiment to be super soldier. It's hard. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I mean,
but Solid Snake hides in boxes. Sam Fisher chills in the Raptor, just waiting to pounce like a cat in the night. And as soon as Snake will be crawling underneath him in a box, and he'll say,
You
"What
have
is
to
this?"
understand, this is such a touchy point.
He's got his thermal goggles on. He sees him coming a mile away, and he's got his scope ready and done.
But what does it say about a guy who can successfully hide in a cardboard box to trick his enemies?
It's true.
Like, they tell you, they're like when you're in Shadow Moses, they're all like, oh, these guys are geniuses. They all have IQs over 160. Like, they're all geniuses. And Solid Snake is smart enough to hide cleverly in a box.
Yeah.
Like, he made that work.
Plus, you have to be smart enough to pick the boxes that resemble the boxes in the area, too.
That's true. He's also Sam Fisher make a box look that convincing.
Yeah, fair enough.
For a long time,
anybody can hide in the raft. Batman does that.
For a long time, I've wanted to do a Deadliest Warrior video, Sam Fisher and Solid Snake, and just pit them against each other. And I think it would be close. I really do.
Yeah, but the problem
is... You know what? When I get... I'm going to... Right now, while I'm still talking to you guys... Actually, I'll do it I'll do it right now. Yeah, I'll do it now. I'm going to post on Underbelly page Sam Fisher versus Solid Snake.
Yes!
Nice.
Yes!
I want to see what the fans have to say.
It's going to be like 30 people saying, who the heck is Sam Fisher?
Who in God's name would choose Sam Fisher? And just a sole picture of me.
Yes. I'm so happy about this. Oh,
that's great.
That makes me so happy.
I want to see how this goes. Solid
Sam who?
Snake versus Sam.
You're gonna get some people in my defense.
Okay.
We will, and then the people who know what's the right answer is will just.
Actually, I'll be honest with you. I hope that there are some people that really back Matt on this because, like I said, in our group of friends, It's pretty much.
And anywhere, I mean, any majority of the people you ask, I mean,
It's almost always Solid Snake.
Because Solid Snake is more well known. They just hear, they think, oh, Solid Snake. Most people don't know much about Sam Fisher. But if you play the games, you realize this dude is a badass. Now when Conviction comes out, I'm going to wet my pants.
You know what, Matt? I think you're a badass because you take on that fight so often.
Dude. You know what? I do. I commend you for sticking to your guns.
Yes.
Solid. There we go. It's up there. We'll see. I'm antsy to see. You know, because I don't know if you guys see that. Like every now and then, I'll put these things up there. I'll do the this versus this. And It's always fun to see what the fans think. You know, who's gonna win? Like you know, Dr. Wily or Dr. Eggman. Who's gonna win? You know.
Right.
And I'm interested to see what they have to say about this one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to checking it out. We'll weigh in as well. So.
Yes.
Please go to the page, cast your votes.
Absolutely. Now. Before we let you go, we do want to get a little bit caught up with you. I know you've recently finished school. You've had a lot of exciting things going on. What, other than applying for jobs, what other things do you have going on? What can we expect from Frank and even the Underbelly crew? What do you guys are you up to?
All right. Well, just for Underbelly, actually, we're right now we're working on the sequel to Pokaholics. We did the original Pokaholics. Anonymous skit, and then we remade it for Otakon. And this year, debuting at Otakon 2013, we're going to be debuting Pokaholics 2. It's an actual sequel, a follow-up skit based in that universe, and I'm hoping people will like it. We're taking the first one kind of went into more of like a Alcoholics Anonymous kind of thing, whereas this one's going to more of like a drug rehabilitation, like as Otakon was heroin. So we've got that, and we're rebuilding the panel that we do, the Pokaholics Anonymous panel, which is our virtually only successful panel, which is very nice because I love that people love Pokemon, and I'm really excited to see people there having a good time with it, and I'm excited to also do some new stuff with Pokemon X and Y.
Yeah.
So that's our big thing coming out, and we're not sure when we're going to release it online. We're either going to release it online right after Otakon, but we are debuting it there. And so if you're at Otakon, come check it out.
Got you.
Or we may wait to release it for the Pokemon X and Y release. But we also have a bunch of... Right now in the works, we have a lot of skits. Newt's got some cool stuff in the works. I don't want to bring up any of anybody else's ideas because...
You
know, but in case they're like, I'm being private about it at the moment.
Right.
Justin's got some ideas, Sean's got some ideas, and Newt's got some ideas, and I've also got a few that we're going to be pumping out and trying to do more skit-based content, and I think that people will end up liking that because our skits generally get pretty well liked.
Absolutely.
We're in contacts with Nintendo, trying to see if they want anything for a Pikmin video. This idea that I had, where it's like Pikmin in real life.
Yeah.
So I want to see if we can get them to bite on that, and if they can't, we'll probably do it anyway. Because the thing is, when we work with Nintendo, it's like, okay, we have a skit idea where we could make this very adult humored and really push the envelope and have fun with it. Or if Nintendo says, hey, why don't you, enter at one of our contests like we've done for Animal Crossing and Wii U, then we kind of have to family friendly it up a bit.
Yeah.
But that's exciting. That's the Underbelly front. For me, I'm currently working as a lead character animator on a film that I'm not allowed to talk about.
Okay.
That's kind of fun. And I'm applying to different jobs. I just sent out 2 resumes yesterday. I'm actually, as soon as I get off here, I'm filling out another application for another job. That's what's. I'm getting married next year.
Congratulations on that, Ashray.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else? My life's kind of boring. It's like
my life's kind of boring.
Well, it's kind of boring.
I'm animating.
I'm
getting married.
Your life's kind of boring. Come on now.
Well, like when I was at school, I was working I was going to school full time. I was working a job as security somewhere. I was working a job as a tutor at the college for 3D animation. I was working Underbelly. I had co-founded a club. I was doing all these things while I was in college. Then college ended. Suddenly went, all right, now you're just working and getting ready for marriage. And I'm like, that's so boring compared to that.
Yeah, but you've definitely earned the break.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird because, like, now I sit here kind of, like, twiddling my thumbs all day, like, oh, what am I going to do?
Right.
But yeah, like, that's kind of the big things going on. We have, like, big panels coming up that we're excited about. And, like, for me, like, easily the best part about doing a web show is getting to go to these conventions and having people come up being like, I love what you do. And I go, that's crazy that you like it, but thank you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it means a lot to me that I made you happy. Like, this one kid, it is, like... I couldn't believe, like, this was probably one of my favorite moments. I was sitting there, I was in the artist alley of Otakon, and this kid walks up, and he walks up, he's like this pudgy, nice-looking kid, and he was with his dad, and his dad just had this big smile on his face, and the kid's like, he taps me on my shoulder, and I'm like, hi, and he's like, hi, can I get a picture of you and Susan? Susan's my fiance, and I was like, yeah, sure, buddy. So, like, I brought her over, we took a picture, I was like, that really, like...
Yeah.
A weird kind of feeling. It feels good. It feels good
absolutely.
to know people. You're making people happy.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the cons and stuff are the things I'm excited about. We've got a few big skits. I know I'm rambling because I know there's other things that I can't think of.
No, I listen. It sounds really exciting, and we're very excited for you.
Yes,
because I mean that's especially the marriage thing because we've both been married for a very long time.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How's marriage?
That's wonderful.
I just hit 10, and I got no complaints.
10 years?
I got no complaints.
I just hit 5, and next month my little girl is going to be 1, so time's flying.
And we probably should give a shout out since we're already doing it that we have two tremendously supportive wives in all the weird, nerdy things we do.
We can sympathize with the busy schedule like you had at school. We're definitely stretching ourselves very thin with all the projects and stuff we're trying to do as well. So it's
the key is when you find somebody who's really supportive, snatch her up quick.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes. Especially with like gaming lunatics like us. You gotta find someone who's this balanced level of fun, normal, and supportive. And if you find that, you let that go, you're an idiot.
Yeah, you're an absolute.
Of course, my wife got Animal Crossing, so I don't see her anymore. So
she might as well be dead.
So once again, Frank, thank you so much for doing this. We appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, well, no, thank you guys. I really appreciate being able to do this and you guys bringing me on here. This is great.
No problem, man.
And until next time, let's keep retro gaming alive. I'm sorry, Matt. You feeling okay?
Yeah.
Do you want a shoulder to cry on?
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks so much to Frank for joining us on 5 Essential Questions. If you want to check out more of his stuff, definitely subscribe to the Underbelly channel so you can see all the cool things they're doing over there. Are you going to be okay, Matt?
Be okay.
Would you feel better if everybody at home went and played a little Splinter Cell?
That's a start.
Maybe cosplayed as a Sam Fisher?
That makes me happy.
Anything else we could do to make you happy?
Yeah, they could subscribe to our YouTube channel. That would make me stop crying at least.
Okay, that's a good idea. Thanks so much for joining us today, guys.
Bye. All right, let's check out the polls here. Let's see here. Salt Snake, Sam Fisher. All right, Sam Fisher. Chuck Norris. Snake. Snake.